I just wanna speak my truth, really. That's what I wanna do. I just wanna speak my truth, and I wanna inspire people to also speak their truths as well. So I'm gonna do two poems. One is called Dreams versus Reality, and the other poem is called 100 Acres in My Mind. So I'm gonna do 100 Acres in My Mind. It's a mental health piece. It's mental health awareness. So if you do feel triggered, you don't have to listen. Deep in the 100-acre woods where Christopher Robin plays, the awareness of mental health is present in Christopher's childhood days. So what does mental health mean to you? Are we crazy because you couldn't latch onto our craze? Generalized as a stereotype from lack of understanding, and you call us crazy? To call someone crazy would signify ignorance because you don't understand that person's dilemma. However, once you understood the dilemma of that person, would that mean you are now crazy? I'll let the honeycomb soak in the jar for a while. Anyone can have disorders. That doesn't mean they're in a disorder. I've known calmness and calamity, chaos and stillness. I've traveled 100 acres in my mind, and that was just my baby steps. I've learned to throw away negative comments like a woodchuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. However, I'm still battling your sounds of deforestation. And you would rather see my Winnie the Pooh as fecal matter, but the things that make me different are the things that make me, me. Mental health travels deeper than 100-acre woods. The aches would alone be able to shake the woods. How would you know? How would you cope if mental health wasn't just stuck in your mental, but transcended into life's caricature, and each character of life is a sound bite? So bite the sound and light the flame, and don't forget my honey, honey. Like a wise old owl said, if the string breaks, then we try another piece of string. But what if I only had one string left and I need to hold on to it? So I string my collective stability together like I'm trying to string words within these sentences. My dyslexia can't call an Alexa or chat to Siri because my short-term memory loss means at times my memory's lost. But when society looks at you as a wise old owl, they expect for you to know more than an elephant. Don't think that the difficulty in interpreting words makes you less of an intellectual. Dyslexia doesn't equal loss of intelligence. And sometimes there's more education in the word silence than you could ever speak on. Those that speak with ignorant minds are only passing on ignorant words. So we need to bounce on them like Tigger and bring Tony the Tiger as reinforcements to keep their words frosties. They need to cool off. And don't wave bye-bye at his coldness because he is bipolar. His mood swings like a child in a playground. But can you blame his rapid nature when the nurturing of youthful minds or mental health isn't moving fast enough? So when Tigger sings, I'm the only one with a solitary smile. Did it ever occur to you that even with his friends, he still feels like he's alone? And his ADHD could be a cry for attention, but you would rather focus on a disorder and claim he's disorderly in a world where he can't keep still because he hasn't found a place to sit in stillness. So what does mental health mean to you again? You pick apart the piglet and intrude into his intrusive thoughts, then blame him for being worried. Burglary of the mind is a crime. And now we must avoid situations through nervousness. So he stutters his words because he's afraid of giving you the full picture. Applying tenses to the tension. Missing out on the fact that even the smallest of friends can be enormously helpful because a little consideration, a little thought for others. Well, that makes all the difference. So I will ask you again, what does mental health mean to you? Pay attention to the signs because sometimes the reality doesn't match up to the internal and it feels like Eeyore is giving that donkey punch because people don't pay any attention. No one ever does. It's that type of lonesomeness that can lead to low thoughts and low spirits where you think you're pathetic, the epitome of sorrow. What makes you think anything's the matter? Hold up. Why should he be sad? It's questions like that which make me angry, not sad, because you throw a stick in the mud and your stigma mugs all sense of mental health credibility and you claim he's the jackass. I'm not lost for I know where I am. But however, where I am may be lost, yet I always get to where I'm going by walking away from where I've been. Mental awareness in Black people must be more aware than now. Have you ever been locked down or locked up in your mind? In London, we call that tier 5. Hearing screams as lullabies. Therefore, your only response is to scream back. Chubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff sounds good to the ear of the limerick rhymer. But that fluff is not allowing him to move through his mind with enchanted freedom. It's more like a pillowcase the notion that Christopher Rob been away towards healing. Is your understanding of our abilities limited? Well, I know my ability is limitless. And if I have to order my disorders, I won't play with them like Christopher Robin. I'm more like Build a Bear when I build this bear up and rise out of the mud of your stigma. And I will never, ever, ever have to say, oh, bother. Because I'm aware of my mental health. Question is, how aware are you? That's me, thank you. So that was 100 acres in my mind. I need a drink. My mouth is dry. And then
Hey Rohan.
Yo.
We don't believe in trying. We do.
I like that. I'm gonna use that.
All right.
That's how I know you're a poet, you know. You even speak in poetry form. Just general conversation.
Wait till you hear him, Rohan. Wait till you hear him.
Oh, I know all about poet and spoken. That's my brother. That's my brother.
Absolutely.
This last piece that I'm gonna do is called Dreams versus Realities, and it's my intake, or sorry, my response to Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. So yeah, I'm gonna go straight in. It's called Dreams versus Reality. You said you had a dream. Well, I have a reality, and it saddens me when I listen to your words. My only conclusion is that dreams don't necessarily come true. As if night terrors terrorize night skies, allowing dreams to be subdued in the light of the moon. So your dream and my dream may never shake hands with the light of reality. So when I look back, I can see you were also looking back, because you said 100 years later, still the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the manacles of discrimination. And it still hasn't stopped. It's only evolved. Taking Darwin's theory of evolution and evolving it into a concept of dehumanization. You see, the world is different now. As many opportunities that have arisen as many times eyes see us as opposition, the crippling isn't so physical. They put the whips down because they realize our backs are stronger now. But the physical form of racism has entered into a systematic error where my skin makes errors because I'm Black. As if we have had to xenophobically atone for our skin tone. Don't you understand the flesh underneath us? Isn't it the same flesh underneath you? I hear Martin wants change. I want it too, but any change to the system must coincide with the change of mentality, parallel like a train track. Otherwise, we'll derail the Underground Railroad. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. But equality doesn't equal equity. And liberation of freedom is only liberal when freedom comes with a price tag. So my worth and value is only valued if I'm worth something to society, and that is evident. As much as I want everyone to be equal, my dream doesn't match up to reality. And you can author those dreams as much as you like, but now we have to change the narrative, because if we don't narrate our own stories, we'll become less of an autobiography and more of a myth. And I don't know how long I can hold on when they keep on taking pieces of me. So when I donate my dreams to reality, they just look at me as an organ donor. I have a dream down in Alabama with his vicious racists, with his governor having his lips dripping with his words of interposition and nullification. Boy, I told you times have changed. Lips no longer drip with nullification. It's pouring in the form of loud silence. Whilst governments shout, they want us to stay mute. But if we shout, they'll try to quiet a 400-year-old storm. Dispatch dispositions of disposal. Have police brutality keep us brutally subdued, then play hangman with the letters of the law. Their constant consonants continuously keep our mouths in a vowel whilst the noose gets tighter, and this is how you play countdown. I'm happy to join with you today as what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration of freedom in the history of our nation. But does demonstration lead to change? The eyes of history still look at us the same when we demonstrate why we deserve these positions. They color code us as white when we demonstrate how to get into higher positions, so the Blacks at the back will detach from what it takes to get into those positions. But those who control positions will only allow us to sit at their table if we can provide for them whilst destroying ourselves. So the master image has been remastered with HD vision. So when you said the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down on the tables of brotherhood, what table were you referring to? I told you it's different now. We don't want to sit at the table because we know the chairs are broken and none of us are carpenters. So I'd rather sit on the carpet and allow others to sit with me. But you said, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And what characters we have in this modern world? Racism was never something acquired through ancestral heritage. It was taught to our kids. So who are we to blame organizations? It's generations of generations that band together to spread hatred. So whilst we try to flood the school system, we must also flood our minds and realize that racism is a learned skill. So when you ask yourself, what are you actually learning? Ask yourself, what are you doing to unlearn it? With this faith, we'll be able to hew out the mountain of despair a stone of hope. And this we can agree on. To those that throw stones in glass houses and step on us as if we are dirt, just know that one pebble may not make a difference, but how do you counteract a rock slide? With this faith, we'll be able to stand up to freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And as much as I want freedom to reign, they take the reins disguised as nooses and rain or sin, come rain or shine. Subconscious dark clouds hang over us. It's been a long time since we've seen pre-colonial sunshine. For every shot that bangs opens up a wound in the sky. The rain falls to mimic our mothers and fathers' eyes. The teardrops spill out to the sound of let freedom ring. And shed another tear for the millions died. You will hear thunder in these tears like a million-man march. The ground will quake and shake with the sounds of let freedom ring. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, then we'll be able to speed up that day with black men and white Jews and Gentiles, Catholics and Protestants. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, free at last. I see your dream, as vivid as my eyes are wide open. But your dream and my reality so far are not together. Our minds are not unified as I would like them to be. I see changes, but that format only comes about after tragedy. And it saddens me that dreams have not yet come true. So it's up to us to be the dream catchers and turn your dream to reality, because I don't want my children's children saying the same words that you said if 100 years later, the Negro still isn't free. That's me. Thank you very much.
Jeez, wow. Can we do a stand up? Wow, that was fire, man. You know what I mean?